Hello, trading is closed on the 10th of January 2022. We always start with our disclaimer, so let's do that. It's my trading plan for Tuesday, the 11th of January. Remember, I can be completely wrong. All trades should be at your own risk. We always start by going over our calls. This is the pattern with the early high. Tomorrow should have the early low. The plan for the day was killed before the open because we gapped sharply in the undesired direction. The plan we had was that there was a good chance of gapping up smartly. We didn't plan to play the gap up, just look for positions to enter short trades. Instead, we gapped way down, and the whole thing was killed before the open. During the day, MEJT actually gave a few buy signals even when the market was way down. Early on, it gave an ultimate buy signal that says ultimately higher price it would print. In the afternoon, it gave a different ultimate buy signal and another standard buy signal. Even though the target was hit immediately, it doesn't obligate us to stop there. So these have already played out. We had a long-standing target that we traveled at least 90 points under this line, and we certainly did that today, so that target has been satisfied. This is 3 days in a row. We start off with an early drop and recover the rest of the day. None of these recoveries have managed to close over any of these prior highs. All they've done so far is backing and filling of the drops. And if we're going to get more of a recovery than this, the market has to do more than that. This is the 15-minute chart. It's possible to count 5 waves down, so we could have a recovery from here. We're looking for wave blue C, often equals blue A. We came awfully close, within about 12 points. That may be close enough when you're at these levels, but there's strong overhead resistance ahead. Here's a stilt, here's a stilt, half a diamond's enough. The diamond on stilts has the origin of the left stilt at Friday's close. Most of the time that holds as resistance. An exception would be if we gapped over it, in which case it would be support. We also have a wall into the close, often represents panic purchases, shorts trying to cover. If that's what it is, there's a high likelihood of gapping down tomorrow. And if we gap down smartly, particularly under the origin of this last move up, this whole rally doesn't mean a thing. Now that's not obligated to happen because you can't count 5 waves down, and if we recovered some, particularly if we gapped up at the open, for the very short term at least, that could get follow through. But for right now, we need more follow through than we have because I'm still calling this a major high here. We use the mixed signals rules for tomorrow. Probably I should have used them over the weekend because I gave both positive and negative things, but you can't go back later and change one's call. Okay, tomorrow's pattern has a early low. We could still gap up. Usually it's a rally day with a final hour high. If it's weak, the more weakness should follow in days to come, even if the rest of the day rallies. So if we get the standard strong day, we could actually have some recovery here. But if tomorrow's weak, and that's something we don't know at this time, if tomorrow's weak and this doesn't go anywhere, this rally didn't amount to anything more than a backing and filling of the drop. Signals are mixed. It's positive. We gap down, hit a lower low, closed over all the intraday lows and even the intraday highs. That's a positive sign. We also have a Bollinger Band reversal on the VIX, but if these things don't get followed through by confirming tomorrow, it doesn't mean anything. If you drop right from the open tomorrow, you never trade over today's close, that doesn't really count. Catch it, it's very negative that the strong rally didn't recover a relevant prior high and the breadth indicators collapsed, meaning the rally isn't a broad-based one. There's a wall into the close, resistance overhead, so continuing higher is not assured. It's still possible. We're quite oversold here, and if we gap up smartly, which is one of the possibilities, there could be a rally, but I don't think it's going to overcome the all-time high. Today was the third straight day we had an early low and a rally the rest of the day. The rallies have peaked at progressively lower levels. Bulls need to do more than that to overcome last week's reversal from the high. Commonest thing here would be a strong cap at the open and a prompt move outside the day's range. It's pretty tough to see us undercutting this low. It's not so tough to see us overtaking the high, but that's not the only thing. That's just the commonest thing. And if this rally is going to amount to more than a one-day wonder, you need more follow-through than this. And I'm not saying that's impossible. We don't have enough at this time. Regardless of how much we rally, if we rally at all, I think lower lows are coming. And that's today's call.